Okay, so for my architecture final project, I've done basically a whole bunch of chores for my dad. And those chores were the construction and soon to be completion of a hot tub in our backyard. We started out with I believe they were hydrangea bushes just sitting in a sort of forgotten corner of the yard. And my dad's like, hey, I want you to go dig those up with your brother and move them to somewhere else in the yard because my desire for a hot tub is finally going to come true, and you and Liam are going to start, the groundbreaking today. And we did that. Then we started. My dad comes back. He's like, "Ah, good job. You've successfully moved all the bushes. What shape do you think the hot tub should be?" So I'm like, "Oh, well, we could just start with a square. That's probably the easiest shape to build." And then he's like, all right, sounds good. So I'm going to go get the spray paint. And then he goes, just spray paints a nice big square on the grass. And he's like, all right, you guys should start digging that up. Bear in mind, you don't want to dig it too deep because then you have a basic pool. And you don't want to dig it too shallow because then the water's only going to come up to like your stomach level. And so we get to digging. It takes about 2-3 days in total, probably about, I want to say 12 hours of digging altogether. And we dig. The worst part of it was definitely getting all of the corners nice and even, because that was for me. I'm not that much of a detail-oriented person when it comes to digging. That was my brother's sort of job. I would just try and dig as fast as possible, and then he would sort out the details. Then once we had that done, we constructed a 2x4 foundation and screwed that together, put some foam insulation down. Then we built the rebar frame, had this nice little lattice, poured the slab, which we did that. We borrowed the cement mixer from our neighbor. I think my dad gave him a case of beer. That was his payment, because it's like, well, everything's closed. There was nowhere to rent one, and we're not going to mix multiple tons of cement with our hands. So we did that. Drove the rebar stakes sticking up, so that way when we constructed the cinder block retention wall to keep the dirt out, that it just wouldn't be any huge issues. That way we could get started already. This week and last week we've been doing the mortar work for the cinder blocks. At first it was really, really challenging for me because I just couldn't get the mortar, I guess it's like a trowel, to work for me. Eventually we did get the hang of it. I'm nowhere near competent with my masonry, but the walls held up. Tonight we spent a good 2 hours doing cardboard mock-ups. We settled on like a recreation of the Giant's Causeway, mostly for aesthetics and also because my family is very Irish, and we thought, hey, that'd be kind of cool. Get the whole ancestry, the whole roots in there. And next week we are going to put the pumps inside the retention wall, and then we're going to start making actual cement molds for these hexagonal pieces. When all's said and done, we're probably going to have, probably close to a few hundred hours of work on this thing. As for the molds, they're going to be cast in cement, and then after that, they're probably going to be tiled for both the look of it and tile's a lot more water resistant than just painting it, and it looks a lot nicer, and it's more pleasant to touch. Hopefully it will be done mid-May, so after finals week is done. It probably won't be, because with any home improvement project, we started it because we thought it would be easy, and it's just every single time it's like, looks like we're making our 4th Lowe's run today, and it's just so many errors. But that's part of the whole learning curve of these projects, and I really enjoy the hands-on nature, and it's pretty, I don't want to say enjoyable, because there are many moments that I'm just not having a good time, but at the end of the day, I can look at it and be like, it's definitely in a closer state to being completed than it was yesterday, which is all you can really ask for in a project like this, because there's a visible start and a visible end to it. It's not like writing a paper, because that's a lot more discouraging to me. Just not seeing how I'm progressing, if that makes any sense. I'll probably do a few more update videos on this, if requested or if needed, but that's about all I have today. I'll probably include some time-lapse at the end, if I can get my video editor to work. Until then, so yeah.